One of the things that I really like in this vehicle is the auto parking brake that will do it when you're in drive. So like right now I hit the brake and it's still in drive, and when I let out of the brake down there, it will hold it for as long as I sit here and I don't have to put it in park. That's a really nice feature on this vehicle. Some other things that I really like is these are just touch sensitive. So you can just touch them with your finger, pops on and off. They're, just a nice little touch that they've added in there. Also the Blue Cruise and things like that. On the older ones, you had to have your hand on it. This one, as long as it can see your eyes, just like Cadillac, works really well. Some of the quirks, I'll try to go through those first, but some of the quirks that is odd to me is this has YouTube, Prime, and a bunch of things in it. Like you've got PBS Kids, you've got YouTube, you've got, you can download about anything on there. But it has to be in park for it to work. So it's down here is one of the weird things about it. And then you can't have it on these main screens. So I found that really weird. These screens here, you can change. But also, one of the biggest drawbacks I would say to this vehicle is it's going to take you a minute to get used to everything, because this vehicle has no physical buttons for 90% of the stuff. Like used to, you had a button to move your steering wheel in and out. You don't have that anymore. You used to could move your pedals, like your pedals in and out by a button. You can no longer do that. Everything is in these track pads. And if you're not used to them, for instance, me and my wife went and got this vehicle at night. It was super foggy, it had been raining. She didn't want to drive. Well, I was over doing some video on some other stuff. And when I come back, she didn't want to drive because she was nervous. Well, they had set her profile completely up. So the mirror was set to her, the steering wheel was set to her, the seat was set to her, everything was set to her. So when you get in the vehicle, this is set up by a automated profile. And I'm going to show you how you get to that in a minute, because it took me a minute to figure this out just to cut the time. But once I got in this vehicle, everything was set to her. So to change anything, you have to hit this. It goes up there. That gives you your pedals, your steering wheel, your mirrors. Everything has to be moved from here. And if you're not used to it when you're driving, it just seems extremely a pain to do. Now, when you get used to it, it's pretty quick and it doesn't bother me at all now. I actually really like it. But if you're not used to it, it's a pain. Now, it took us a minute to figure out the profiles, so you can click this and go to different profiles. But when you're at home, we didn't realize that was how you go to the profile thing. And so we was looking all over, trying to figure out in here how you switch profiles, and it's nowhere in there. So to switch to my profile, you have to hit this. To switch to hers, you obviously go there. One of the other things that I found crazy is a $100,000 vehicle doesn't have fog lights. So this vehicle has no fog lights whatsoever. And I'm just blown away by that, because fog lights are huge and they make a big difference when you're driving. So one of the things to me was I kept looking for them. I hadn't even looked at the car that well, but here you got a little button and that'll take you to your lights. See it over here? I would have, I'm looking for a button anywhere in here to switch my lights, and there's one nowhere. So that's a thing, like all the buttons and everything in this car are either electronic or on this trackpad. One of the things that they left where it's not electronic is your tailgate to open it and stuff, which I thought was nice. But like I said, in your steering wheel, if you want to open your mirrors, see, it's even in the steering wheel, so you've got to get used to it. And, you know, like I said, it's just something that is new on this, but it's all at your fingertips. So it is innovative to a certain extent, but it just took forever to get used to it. One of the things that I thought was really weird on a vehicle of this caliber, now, this is what I found. This is so crazy. So, if you see here, these are for your window switches. They do not glow at night. There's no symbol on them. You can't see. They're just backlit right here, and you cannot, I mean, obviously, you know, these are front, these are back, but there's nothing glowing on them at all. But then on the speakers, they put this little glowing light in the speakers, but on your window switches, they didn't. Yeah, huh? Hello, you. We're almost home. I just found that was super odd, and for the life of me, I can't understand why they didn't put it on the window switches, which at night you can't see it that well. So like I said, it'd just be handy to have it lit up. And then also on your stock and stuff here, none of these glow in here. It's all just, you're looking at it there. So at night, like I said, if I wasn't used to it and I hadn't got it affiliated with all the buttons and everything, this vehicle will get you upset real fast. I was real upset trying to figure out everything while I was driving at 80 mile an hour down the interstate and trying to figure out what buttons worked everything. Other than that, some of the, you know, things that I really like is I like this EcoBoost motor with the high output. And this motor is really peppy. I did find, so like in here, I find it weird that when you go to the vehicle, you hit drive modes and you hit excite, that it, you know, automatically puts you in full-wheel drive. But I guess that's so that you have better traction control. But another thing that bothers me is there's not a lot of info. So if you're used to your RPM and everything, you have to drive in the excite mode just to get, if you look here, like RPM and everything on there. If you're in the regular mode, to see your fuel mileage or anything, you have to put it in one of those screens over here, as you can see on this side, which you can put it in any of the three. But there's not a lot of info in this dash. I just am, you know, I like a bunch of info, and I like to know what is being, you know, what's going on with the car. Well, this doesn't have a ton of info in it. So it's just, like I said, I don't know about all this, you know, technology. It looks like you could display anything, but there's really only a few things that it can do that is, you know, for info. But this motor is the high output, which is what's in the Raptor. And there's quite a bit of difference in the high output and the regular motor. And also the previous gen motors, like if you look up online, like the previous gen motors had cam phase issues and a few other things. Well, they updated that in 2021 and made things different. But I mean, this vehicle gets up to 60 super fast. Now, in the normal mode, like I said, it doesn't show you your gears, auto start stops on, a bunch of other stuff. Well, when you put it in excite mode, it shows you a lot more info, like your gears are up here and stuff. I wish you could, like in my truck, the info is really easy to set up and pick. So like if you want to see the gears, you just hit manual mode down here on the end of the column, or hit your little plus and minus sign, and it'll automatically give you your gears and stuff. To me, like I said, this dash is so big, yet there's very little info in there. One of the really nice touches that they've done is the navigation system blends in that, and you can see where it kind of halfway touches that, and they blend together. And when you switch your themes, like if you put the Mars theme on there, which I like this theme the most, it's kind of blacked out and it just makes everything look really easy to see, but it just blends all together well. One of the things that I'll say about this vehicle, so we're coming from a Wagoneer, is you can see out of this vehicle so well. The field of view, the way that they have made the hood and the dash where everything is sunken down, you feel like you can see out of this vehicle perfectly. And this vehicle, coming from a Wagoneer, feels nimbler. It just feels like it has a overall better driving experience, and it's not air ride, which I would like for towing. But as far as this vehicle and how it feels, see, I'm not putting it in park, just drive, and I've just let out the gas and it holds it there for me. So like drive-throughs, anything like that, it's just really nice how it feels. Now, one of the things I wish they would have done is on the mirror, I wish it was a backup camera too, but it's just a mirror. I feel like any more in a $100,000 vehicle, you should have a backup mirror in this. And the camera quality on this car, now one of the nice things they did is they give you a physical button for a camera. So you've got a physical button for a camera on here. But the picture quality is just like any other Ford in the industry. And we've had a Volvo and we've had a Wagoneer, just a regular Wagoneer, not even a Grand Wagoneer. And the picture quality on both of those was so far ahead of this. Like you can see, I mean, that car right there, there's the car. And there it is. I mean, it makes everything look so granular and grainy that I don't know why Ford can't have better cameras on their vehicle. It just is mind-blowing to me, the quality of what they've got in these vehicles. Now, as far as the amenities in here, I will say that on the Wagoneer, you had a spot to click your phone in where it's set up right. In here, there's absolutely nowhere to put your phone as far as it just being in the car. Like it just, you either have to throw it in the hole here and let it sit on the charge, which the charging pad is made in a lot better spot. That is perfect. Like it's so easy to slide it in there. And it fits my iPhone 17 Pro Max with a case. No problem down in there. Fits just great and doesn't go anywhere. But like in the Wagoneer, you had cup holder, and 3 cell phone side holders, and you could just click your cell phone down in it. And in my truck, they're up here. But in this, there's nowhere to put your cell phone anywhere. One of the things I do like, which is a weird, but you have this big flat shelf here that's so easy to put stuff on. It's so tempting to put like just stuff up there, and my wife can put her purse there, but it's also got the holder down here. But the vehicle itself, like I said, once you get it set up and you get used to it, works really, really well. Now, I've got a 2024 Super Duty. These are 20-something way seats. These are extremely well, like these seats feel really good once you get them adjusted. As far as squishiness, they're very soft, very comfortable, as you can see. Way softer than anything Wagoneer offers, way softer than anything GM offers. GM seats are the worst in the industry right now, and I won't even buy a GM vehicle because of how garbage the seats feel, even in the Escalades. Like, they're just garbage. Anybody that has drove a Navigator and then goes to an Escalade, first thing you hear out of them, we've got 2 or 3 friends, and it's not that they thought the Cadillac was any better or anything, they just wanted something new, and that's kind of like us. We always want something new, and we had no problems with our Wagoneer, but we wanted something different. And also, I've heard a lot of people complain about the steering wheel. One of the things I like about it is it's not in your way, and just like the visibility, the flat top, you can see your whole dash perfect. Like, when I'm driving this vehicle, just like it is right now, I can see my dash flawlessly, and I really, really like that. There's just, like I said, it's just getting used to everything, and once you get used to it, it works really, really well. Your opening here, this is not super deep, but you could put pew pew in there and a couple other things. I really like that there's cologne in these things. So, like, you can go on your dash and you can go to your scents, and you can have it put out a scent. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, digital scent right here. And then you can click any of these and it will shoot a scent out in the car, which is really nice. Now, these 3 cologne scents are like $100 for 3 of them. And we've used it 2 or 3 times, as you can see on that violet cashmere. But, I mean, I would say they would last over a year. And you can have it scent when you get in the car automatically. You can have it when you exit the car. You can have a ton of stuff. Another thing that I really like about the Ford and the Wagoneer that maybe all the cars with the electronic steps have, but you can go, so like if you park beside someone and you're wanting to not get your doors hit, if I can find it in here, but you can go to the automated steps. You can go to them wherever it's at in there. Like I said, I still haven't got used to everything, but you can go to the automated steps and have them stay out the whole time so that you're not worried about someone door dinging you because they'll hit your step before your door. So, like, if you park the car and you got to park in somewhere tight, you can have your steps on the side of your car stay out, and that will let your vehicle stay where it won't get hit. Now, we've been driving this car. We've only got 215 miles on it, as you can see there. And everything we do has been in town and stop and go. And we've been averaging about 13 miles per gallon. It says 8 now. I reset it a minute ago, like 2.6 miles. And I went in the car wash and sat with it running and some other stuff. But it's been saying about 13 to 14. So until the car gets broke in, it'd be hard to see on fuel mileage, but I'm guessing it's going to get like 16 around town and around 20 out on the highway, which is kind of what they estimate. But anyway, as far as inside, that's kind of my thoughts on it, and I'll tell you more as we go on the channel. But I like the car so far. I almost forgot too, another thing that I absolutely love about this Lincoln is you can use your phone as a key. Along with, you don't even have to have your phone or a key. You can set up a physical password in the car. So if you left your car somewhere, you could take the keys and use the pin pad on the outside to get in your car. If you forgot your keys somewhere, start it and drive home. All you got to do is have the code for the dash, which I absolutely love. Another thing, like I was saying, on the max tow package, when you get them on these vehicles, if you do not get the max tow package, you will not get the 2-speed transfer case and the slow climb mode in the vehicle. That's something that comes with the max trailer tow package, along with getting the bigger radiator, amongst a couple other things. So that was something I really wanted. We're doing a trip to Indiana, and we've got the car loaded down. And a few things that I've noticed is like the self-driving thing. If you're not on a certified Blue Cruise road, obviously it won't let you use it, and it'll keep telling you to put your hands on the steering wheel. Now that's just like an F-150 or my Super Duty. It'll still drive itself. As you can see, I'm not touching the steering wheel, but you have to touch it every now and again. But one of the more annoying things is even in that mode that's not Blue Cruise, it still tells you to keep your eyes on the road. So like if I keep taking my eyes off and doing other things, it's still looking through here and it wants me to look at it. Whereas my truck will only tell me to keep my hands on the steering wheel. So even though this isn't a mapped road and it's driving, it wants me to keep my eyes and my hands on the steering wheel. Now the other day I did figure out how to turn the temperature on, but I still can't get it. It will put the gear up there like I'm in 10 of 10, but I don't think it shows my shift points. Like even if I slow down, it just shows me that I've got the gear selector set to go 1 through 10 up here. So that's kind of annoying. But another thing, I just reset my trip meter and I want to see what kind of fuel mileage I get out on the road. Now it is super windy today. We are running 91 octane in this. You do not have to, which I would like to put a tune on this motor that's tuned for 91, just so I get the better fuel mileage and more power. But right now we're getting about 15.1, and we'll see. We're on the way to Indiana, so we'll see what we get total wise driving it. Now this does have the tow package. It has a bigger radiator for cooling and stuff, but I don't think that's something that's going to affect this in any way, but we'll see. So normally on this trip, I drive at like 80 to 90 mile an hour because it just 77 to 70, its speed limit 70. But when I tried to set my Blue Cruise at 85, it said my speed was too high and it wouldn't let me do the hands free. So I dropped it down to 77, and so far it seems happy with that. So we'll see how that works out. But another thing I noticed is like with the hands free, is if it's going around a major curve, it'll slow itself down to sometimes 5 to 6 mile an hour below. Like I've seen it go down to 73 mile an hour to compensate for the Blue Cruise. But we've got about 100 miles. We're gonna see how this does and see if it'll drive us all the way there during that. We're getting 15.9. We just stopped at Chick-fil-A. We'll see. This is a pretty traffic jammed area, and it's just whipping back and forth, and everybody's going and stopping and going. And so far this hands-free thing has been doing it by itself in this area that's super congested. Pretty impressive. Ever since we've got on the interstate, it's been driving. It did when I got to a 5-lane road. I was centered behind a vehicle and it met the middle of the line, and it wanted me to take back control, and then it jumped right back into driving right after that. So I did notice that. But as far as it staying in the lines and stuff and being self-centered, it's been really smooth so far. Absolutely love the hands-free. It makes the vehicle feel so high-end. See this big curve here? It wants me to watch the road. Every time my phone gets between this and my face, it tells me to watch the road. So I've got to keep it to the side. Did you think it would drive through this?
Huh?
Did you think it would drive through this? I didn't know if it would or not.
Still uncertain.
I mean, it's been taking every big curve so far. And when you get on an interstate or something that's Blue Cruise available, it'll automatically pop up in your dash and tell you right there. It'll tell you it's available. And then you just hit the little switch down here. You just hit the little switch over here and it takes over and drives for you. And then if you want to switch lanes, you just hit the toggle switch. But I mean, I can feel the weight of the vehicle on these curves and it's taking it no problem. So on this bridge, it wants me to have my hands on it. And so it's making me put my hands on the steering wheel, and Blue Cruise went away. So that's one of the first times that I've seen it kick it out, is for you to put your hands on it, is over that bridge. We'll see when it comes back in. So there we go, it went back to hands. No, not yet, it started to. So it's not wanting to do hands-free yet. It's still lane centering and keeping me in the middle of the road, but it's not completely, it wants me to touch the steering wheel. So it's not Blue Cruise just yet. There it goes. See it say hands free? Now it's back. Oh, there it goes. It's kicking out again. It says hands on steering wheel in this area. Huh. There. It started to kick in and it kicked out. It must not like the lines or something on this road, which this road looks like almost concrete color. So I don't know if that messes with it or what. Well, like I said, it's still centering me, but I have to keep my eyes on the road and touch it. Whereas when it goes to Blue Cruise, I don't have to touch the steering wheel ever, and it just drives me. So I don't know when it's going to kick back in. We'll see. We're getting 17.2 mile per gallon. So we're going up mile per gallon, which is good. The range on this vehicle is usually, when we're in town, about 350. We've been driving for a while now. All right, there we go. So we're back in hands-free. Let's see if it stays. So when it says hands-free, like that right there, that means you can completely you just have to watch the road. Like, you can't look away for very long, because it'll kick you out. But we'll see if it stays. Yep, I believe it's good. With this hands-free, the Blue Cruise like I'm using, I can cock my seat way back and just chill, even to where like my hands don't want to touch the steering wheel, and lay back. So that's super nice, because you can just chill while you're driving. Whereas before, you're like up on the steering wheel trying to hit everything, as long as it can see your eyes. I love how the Lincoln lights up and then this bar will fade.
You can't want one of the 8 lanes to get past